Welcome back to Snake Eater. So, now that we're... Alright, we've had our fun. So, now it's time for Snake.
No more monkeying around.
Yeah, no more monkeying around. So, Snake versus Monkey. Well, it asks you to load your save data from whatever your playthrough is. So, I just did.
This is Snake. I've made it to the sneaking point.
Hi, Colonel.
Right on time, Snake.
For being dragged out of the sack at 2 in the morning, I did my best.
Let's just assume this is after Operation Snake Eater.
Colonel, nobody loves being dragged away from their vacation.
I'm sorry, but we...
And yes, we got back once again for lighting.
Yeah.
And of course, in typical fashion, a snake is taken out of retirement, or in this case, vacation.
It's tradition at this point.
Only once. I am not taking out any Metal Gears.
Okay.
Don't worry, Snake.
And no saving some VIP or old man.
It's nothing like that.
If it's like a hot damsel in distress, I'll think about it.
Focus.
Well, it's not quite a hot damsel in distress, but it is a rescue mission.
Oh, yes it is.
What?
Monkeys, but not just any monkeys.
You said monkeys?
Just listen. Your mission is to infiltrate the jungle and capture all of the monkeys. Again.
It is of most high importance.
Monkeys.
This isn't really my thing. If you want your monkeys, you better ask Spike or Jimmy.
I got that reference.
What about me? I was on vacation.
But it's not called Jimmy round here, Jover.
If you don't do this, who will?
It's not like someone else couldn't handle a stealth mission.
Don't say that. This is the genre we turned over every leaf in.
Why don't you make Sam or Gabe do the job?
Snake,
I got that reference
Isn't this just
too.
some monkey catching action?
Snake, I'm asking you. It's a request from the professor himself.
The professor?
The same professor who made a time machine for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, that was
Yeah, Ape Escape's kind of just a, I don't know, I just wanted to screw crap up kind of plot.
Professor is a friend
Also, Jover.
He's Otacon.
Ah, so in this case the professor is Otacon's friend. Yes,
Otacon
Twibs.
has been able to come up with
I only know Hikaru. Who the hell's Jimmy?
All right. What are the details?
Twibs?
Great.
I'm not against some monkey
I'm
catching.
not against some monkey catching, okay.
What?
Wrapped up to like pants.
What?
The monkeys have fled.
Well, you're in luck.
The
Monkeys
American
rarely-
kind or the British kind?
Knock them out for capture.
Well,
Yes.
you're in luck. Well, you're in luck, Snake, because different monkeys wear different coats of pants. Although the more closer they are to red, the more
Grab all
dangerous
the
they are.
monkeys. Your mission is complete.
Ah, so like Monsters Inc. Scare Island.
Kinda.
Ape Snake.
Snake, when you capture a monkey, yell out the password. With the password, a warp device will activate.
Understood.
Good. I'm counting on you, Snake.
The world is resting in your hands.
Okay, so we have a total of 7 levels where we need to get all of the monkeys. So, escape from the jungle, escapade de la jungla. We have 9 apes to catch.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a tale of the collaborations of the old days. Say, back around this time, Konami decided to make a collaboration with Ape Escape. This would go both ways. Not only would we get this cool little story campaign of Snake needing to, rescue monkeys, but Ape Escape would get its own Metal Gear Solid campaign, wherein you play as Solid Snake, who's a monkey, against Ocelot, who's also a monkey.
For the sake of, making the process more smooth, the whole giving Snake a net was actually, being replaced just for you to have to touch a monkey that is in a dizzy state.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Ape Escape has one of the more complex gameplay systems.
The
So
first
much
one
so that they
was-
had,
Yeah, go on.
so much so that it needed to make use of the, at the time, new PlayStation controller,
Yeah.
the DualShock,
It was really
double
one of those
analog.
games that was done to highlight the specifics of the controller. In that case, the idea that, every single action was tied to a button.
Like, how weird was it? You used the right analog stick to jump, actually.
Yeah, it was weird. But it was actually cool, too.
Oh yeah,
Since
it's a classic that I dig.
you can actually get both games on the PS4 and PS5 as classics.
Oh, there are still a couple of ones missing.
Well, actually, the PSP one was put there as well. Which ones are we missing too?
Let me check. Just
what about 3 and 4? Was there 4? Just check. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Ape Escape 3, I think it was also re-released. And yeah, they even replicate the sound effects. Again, like Jova said, depending on what the monkey is wearing, but especially also on the color of their the light on their helmet, is all you need to know about their state, you know, if they are alerted or not. Because yes, the original Ape Escape did work out kinda sort of stealth game, you know, you having to actually capture the monkeys.
Did Konami develop this bit, or was it someone at Sony?
No, it was just Konami doing it.
Fun fact, actually, one of the original publishers of the first Ape Escape game was Ubisoft, actually.
Because that was still a time where, for some reason, some games, despite being the property of someone, still required, you know, different publisher for different regions. The last major case that we do know for, you know, that encompassed the entire world was the original Demon's Souls. Well, these days are mostly happening with Japanese companies that are self-published in Japan, but, you know, don't care much about the West, like Con Software.
So, as we capture these monkeys, it is good to recap on some of our previous ventures. So, I should probably touch base on some stuff here. So, at first it seems like the Cobra units blowing up when you defeat them is just a weird thing. There actually is an in-story reason for it. They're fitted with microbombs because the Cobra units are considered incredibly vital. So essentially, the government didn't want any trace of them left over after they were defeated, for fear of, you know, their body or genetic makeup being used for evil. Which, as we have seen in this universe, can very much be a thing.
It's also
so
a
essentially
way to replicate the whole explosion after a boss fight that was in the old games.
Also, one thing I've noticed is that also, again, one way this game differs from other games is that this game goes out of its way to let you know that, yeah, the entire heroic team of this game kind of has a sad ending. Now, again, we haven't seen where Zero will end up. I'll just let you know, it's not pretty. But we know what happens to Naked Snake. He will literally, ironically enough, be taken out by a crude flamethrower, which is ironic because he beat a dude with an actual real flamethrower and jetpack.
So, for noting that during the fight against the Sorrow, if you killed like a lot of people, the Sorrow himself will actually tell you will be killed by your own sons, and if you're not careful, you will even get a steal of Solid Snake trying to shoot at you.
Amazing, isn't it? As for Second, well, again, he will end up using his actual nightmare to help make Metal Gear Rex, and sadly will kind of become a cheap suit who kind of sells out information and kind of dies in, well, absolute disgrace.
Yeah,
point where he's dead. But
Mm-hmm.
And as for Paramedic, yeah, she ends up being responsible for the cyborg program with Grey Fox. And Grey Fox will later slaughter her dead. I mean, on the one hand, she did get to achieve her dreams of the whole paramedic system and all that, but she too would fall from grace, sadly.
Yeah, I check. Ape Academy, was released, but not Ape Escape.
Oh, crap.
I'm sure he's okay.
And there we go. 9 apes.
No monkeys were harmed in the making of this game.
Stage clear.
After all, Nick did use the tranquilizer.
Yep. And there you go, that's the basic gist of it.
Hit a few branches on the way. But yeah, I do like also how they even given quotes and quips from the Ape Escape game. I can imagine David Hayter must have had a ton of fun recording those lines. Red de los Simios.
Like Teo said, we still don't know exactly why the nightmare sequence and we still don't know exactly why the nightmare sequence and the secret fear were removed from the HD version, because
these things are cursed.
That's also part of the point. It also helps that the original franchise Shirei, all the characters are more stylized to resemble more traditional 90s anime.
I can imagine the voice direction for these clips that he has. Okay, David, play Solid Snake as if he was the children's game show host.
Okay, by the way, Shiro, you want to watch out for the monkeys in red and black pants. Those guys literally wield machine guns. And the red ones have bombs, too.
But yeah, in case you also never touched this franchise, even though you should, as we mentioned, at least a part of it is actually available these days. It's basically, again, it tries to beat the plot of an 80s or 90s anime. The idea is that this scientist, this professor, which also invented the time machine, had a pet monkey called the Spectre, this monkey, or wacky turn of events, this monkey manages to get a helmet that allowed him to gain sentience, and decided, you know what, my species is kind of fucked up, it'd be treated in a fucked up way, let's take control of the world instead. So it literally sends, monkeys throughout the ages of time in order to, take over the world.
Basically,
and because that monkey is called Spectre, the original first UK release played up his Britishness and evilness.
Because of course we did.
Well, again, he's called Spectre. The joke kind of writes itself.
So yeah, you take control. Okay, you take control of different characters throughout the games, but the one that's most iconic is obviously the first one, Spike, which also was the one who got invitational stars Battle Royale because of that.
So Spike's an interesting case. See, he and his friend turned rival because, Spectre kind of brainwashed his friend.
Again, 80s, 90s anime cliches.
See, now in the original American release, they sound like guys. In the UK version, you would be excused for mistaking them as girls with how feminine they sound.
Again, Joe, we're just more used to that.
Yeah. Oh, Jova.
Yes.
I was looking up Spectre and take your pick of of which voice you prefer for the guy. The voice of Tristan, or the voice of a bunch of chickens in Chicken Run.
I'm guessing you like the UK version because then you can joke that, hey, it's Spectre as a monkey.
A monkey.
There you go.
I mean,
because the monkey was alerted, the light on their helmet became yellow instead. When it becomes ready, because they're completely alerted, and you may be in trouble.
We also got a monkey shaker. Also, the directional microphone can be very useful, so you can hear the monkey's noises. So when you're searching for them,
again, that's also spiritually adapting what the original series did. Again, Spike or the other characters will have as primary weapon a net, because again, despite everything, despite also the comedy and tongue-in-cheek, the series itself doesn't really promote too much violence. Sure, it will still potentially. There you go. It will still potentially have, life-threatening situations, but when it comes to our characters, they always try to just recapture the monkeys, fair and square, without having to harm them,
So essentially, what this is the missing level in the first Ape Escape game, which is set during the Cold War.
Of course.
Of course.
And yeah, Spike is sent at least for the first game, he's sent through different ages of time with the net, but also a bunch of different, gadgets that were mounted to different, part of the controller for you to actually, be adapting to the situation, and capture all of the monkeys. It showcased how cool it was, despite, being also one that, a game that wanted to be mostly a technical demonstration for the gimmick of a no controller.
I have to wonder, what was the reasoning behind this crossover? Don't get me wrong, this is cool, but it's kind of a crossover that, again, from what I can recall, a lot of people kind of tilted their head and went, what?
I can imagine Kojima might have had the first idea and asked, and Sony probably was like, sure, or something, because again, Japan Studio was more, at this point was basically their apex. So Japan Studio was doing a lot of things.
Like I said before, we don't know for sure what exactly were the reasons for removing the secret feeder and the nightmare sequence from the HD version, because that, as far as me and Taylor are aware, there's no copyright problems with that. But it's pretty easy to see what happened, like, because the Metal Gear Solid HD collection was released on Xbox 360 and on PS3. And while I guess they could have kept this on the PS3 version, probably Konami wanted the collection to be the same product in both platforms to avoid any kind of backlash. And the upcoming Master Collection is going to retain that as well, since Master Collection is going to be a multi-plat thing that's going to be on PC and everything. So obviously it can't have any thing. So I guess.
Unless they do the unthinkable and get back in touch with Japan Studio.
Sony in general.
Oh, the remnants of them.
Team Azobi specifically. Right now, in their place is Team Azobi.
You just know that if instead an entire new type of crossover like this was supposed to be made for a PS5 product, they will just instead use the robots from Horizon.
I thought you were going to joke and say that they would use NAC because they were pushing.
No, I'm going for a more thematic kind of thing. And the robots of Horizon really suits well for having.
Well, Taylor, how about this? A crossover with Sackboy.
I suppose.
Naturally.
Again,
okay.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on. I'll go after you.
No. It's what they just said anyway. Go on.
I could totally go for a Metal Gear Solid crossover with Crash.
Well, that's not Sony, Drova.
Here, picture this: a Metal Gear Solid, a Metal Gear Solid on the Switch crossover with Splatoon, and where you can to play as Snake against all the other squids.
I actually have seen a video where Snake has a codec call with an Inkling. It's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The 3DS
now
version...
we need to introduce Snake to Isabel.
Oh no. She has already enough fun being with the Doom Marine, Shirai. Also, the 3DS version of this game, if I remember correctly, like he said, has a bunch of Nintendo-themed Easter eggs. Like he said, all the Frogger, plushies are replaced with Yoshis. Yes. I do know that. I don't remember what else is there, but if I recall correctly, there were also one or two more, Easter eggs scattered throughout.
And here's the final one.
I feel like...
No, go on.
I feel like a crossover with Crash would actually just be some kind of hard mode, because you'll have Snake trying to hide in all the boxes and Crash just keeps breaking them.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be fair, those boxes are the boxes with Crash's breaks are wooden and not cardboard.
Actually, no, I was going to say Snake should hide in that.
Hey, look, there's Dawn.
Collection, but...
Hey, there's Dawn of the Apes.
When did you say this came out? 2006?
Well, 2005 actually.
Oh, wow, a full 6 years before the action. Not 6 years, sorry. Because Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was in 2014, so about 9 years before Dawn of the Planet of the Apes came out.
Also, as you can imagine, sorry, go on, Joe.
If it's in regards to this, go on, because what I was about to do was bring up another detail from the main
it was
game.
mostly for the history of Ape Escape, but I can say later. Go on.
Bringing things back to Metal Gear Solid 3 for stuff we didn't show in our playthrough, you may remember that at some point in the game, after Snake has a near-death experience, you can spot the sorrow at certain points, as well as essentially him being a ghost. One thing. So, at some point after you kill the boss, if you do it, it's a very easy to miss moment, but you can get a scene of the boss and the Sorrow finally walking off together in death.
That's cute.
And then you finally actually get to see her attaining the joy that she is so aptly named for.
Remember, they literally worked in tandem even during their team days.
It is really interesting to see how this game was really a precursor to not only SFM videos, but kind of mods when you think about it. Because the whole, essentially sticking a character model to a certain character skeleton
Okay, I
comedic
see what
results.
you say, Jova, but that could be applicable to consoles because modding about modding of that caliber existed since the days of Doom. So,
I guess better the SFM videos. Possibly
yeah.
also stuff like Red versus Blue, which would directly
that
use
was
game
tied
assets.
to Halo instead.
Basically.
But you know what I mean, that type of show or parody.
Ape Fear.
Uh-oh.
But yeah,
Get ready, guys, for a
another
weapon
thing
to
is-
truly surpass Metal Gear.
Sure. It's also, again, worth noting that, as you can imagine through their behavior, later on as the years went by... Oh no. Oh,
Monkey.
Metal
Gear. And look at that, an ape with an eye patch.
no.
Snake.
Jesus.
Yeah.
UK version.
Because of their behavior, the monkeys later on, Sony tried to take the monkeys into a direction trying to be more of similar to the rabbits from Ubisoft or the minions for Universal, to be the quirky mascots with a set of with games dedicated with a set of mini games, particularly in the PSP, which some of them are being released. But not all of them really did work out. And again, as mentioned, these days the franchise just is dormant. Let's just use that term.
Okay,
Get
so
back here.
so we're dealing with Metal Gear in this one. For those who don't know, this is a reference to a mini game from Ape Escape 3 known as Metal Gear Solid Snake Escape. Wherein in that case you have monkeys cosplaying as characters from the first Metal Gear Solid game.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so because of these, superior intelligence and the capacity of traveling through time, Spectre manages to get, a bunch of robots in his arsenal throughout the games. So it's also legit.
Gone with
Gone
the apes.
The apes. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a monkey's uncle. I don't know.
3, 2, 1, start.
It's also a nice touch with the fact that the only camo that you have right now is the, it's the banana suit.
Yep.
Hi.
Hi.
As you were.
Snake, you got apes to catch.
Yeah, you're supposed to be looking at monkeys.
Also, Snake, it's too pixelated to really masturbate to.
It's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that, Shiroi, because there's a scene in the Inspector Gadget live-action movie where a woman bends over and Gadget looks at her butt, and he literally yells out monkey sounds. So I guess maybe we could have Snake do monkey sounds here. I don't know.
Also, Jova, again, you have to remember, Jova, before the days of the internet, people would be desperate to find everything.
Return of the Living Apes.
There's only 10 though.
Yes.
Remember, Waves, it also matters, what their ways, their look, because they could be potentially.
Hey, look at that.
It's the Shagahod base.
The ape god, the hippo god, the monkey god. I don't know what kind of pun can we make out of that.
1, start.
Whoa.
Huh.
I mean, it is a cool model. Yoink.
So, Snake, is this the weirdest mission you've done?
Absolutely not. In Peace Walker, you get to fight a Rathalos.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Heck, I think in Peace Walker you also get to literally fight a T-Rex that's Metal Gear if it were biological.
Yep.
Yeah, these collaborations similar to these happened again in Peace Walker. This time with teamed after Monster Hunter, because back then Capcom was raising the portable
Apes of Wrath.
And trust me when I say this, they were not exactly the peak of a franchise. Quite.
The monkeys are all having a tea party, it seems.
Ah, yes, the music I come to expect of the Metal Gear series. The ukulele.
Let us hunt monkeys on top of the boss's grave.
Just what she would have always wanted.
You know, the sad thing is, a lot of Metal Gear can be pretty much summed up as people trying to figure out what the boss meant when she really didn't have a secret meaning to anything.
But yeah, because of the tall grass and the flower, the monkeys are a bit hard to spot when they actually are on the field. So yeah, that violent challenge does work out.
Fuck.
Don't worry, Pedro's got the golden gun.
Eh.
Oh, it's still a little shit.
There we go.
Gotcha! So that's the password. Gotcha.
Yeah, I guess. Again, it's funny, but again, they asked the Navigator to record also these particular lines, and as Luke said, they're very unconventional.
But what if Snake was, what if Snake was having Vinky with Eva, and then he accidentally said gotcha and teleported Eva away?
Damn.
You see, if this was done in Metal Gear Solid 5, we'd just use the Photon system.
Probably. You are mine!
Those are quotes from the Ape Escape.
Yeah, even the inflection that the Navigator has to go through has to mimic that.
Look at that monkey.
Hold still.
So many flower petals.
Again,
Like I said, Solid Snake Kids Game Show host.
Just be happy that they didn't include the difficulty scaling with the monkeys to the point where they can wield weapons themselves.
Also,
which I'm actually surprised they didn't have the red and black ones wielding weapons like in the Ape Escape games.
Probably to not make things too complicated, this is just to have fun. Also, Dweebs, you got it wrong, that the crossover with the Sony franchise with Ape Escape, Dweebs, not Buzz.
You're mine.
We need Snake to host Blue's Clues.
No,
That could work.
no, it wouldn't.
But she
wouldn't
right.
it?
But she right. Kevin was perfect.
Yeah.
I remember Steve. Thank you very much.
Well, that's
Who's
because you're
Steve?
American.
Yeah, we have a cool Scouse guy hosting our version.
Of course, that was something you changed up in your version.
We really did not even have that. We had basically our own type of, something similar to that, just literally made in house.
I'm aware Portugal has a pretty popular host of its version.
Mm-hmm, we do. But that's the thing, there's like TV hosts in general are very popular. That's one of the easiest ways to become well known because they tend to be they get a lot of exposure because people here still watch TV all the time. Streaming is a thing over here, but it's not quite taken over TV as much as in most other countries.
Only one remaining. But where could that be?
So, Colonel, why exactly are we getting all of the monkeys exactly?
It's all a matter of, preventing any more time paradoxes. After Spectre
it's all
sent more back in time.
Snake is all part of the Los Primatos Asbestos project.
There you go, guys. We've done it. We've captured all of the monkeys.
From the Pipo Monkeys.
We saved the world.
All right, so that's it.
Here's a medal.
Oh, there you go. And as you can see,
Now
there
Snake
you go.
can finally go back on vacation.
All right,
The boss
then.
is turning in her grave.
Let's exit then.
Leroy, you think the boss is turning into her grave? Wait until she sees some of the silly shenanigans we get up into in later Big Boss games.
So, if you complete all of the monkey challenges, you get
A new item.
a monkey mask to use in the main campaign. So there you go. Now you can camouflage yourself as one of the monkeys.
You know, sure, it's only mentioned that there's even some fan art of the boss literally slapping Big Boss in the afterlife for pretty much not getting what she meant with her dying words.
Indeed.
All right then.
And that is it. That was all the extras that I wanted to showcase. So that's it, everybody. We are officially done with Metal Gear Solid 3. That being said, like Joves kept saying, yes, we still want answers to what happened after Metal Gear Solid 2's ending. So there you go, everybody. Tune in eventually when we get back to the Metal Gear series to the epic ending of the Solid Snake saga, Metal Gear Solid 4: Guns of the Patriots.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.